Hi guys, welcome back to LTF1. We are here for the French Grand Prix review. I'm with Ishan this week, and he has decided to be a Mercedes fanboy for this race, so he's probably not too happy with the results. How did you find it? I thought it was a good race.
Yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable up until lap 53, but but yeah, it was interesting with the strategy that Red Bull got spot on today. Mercedes, not so much. Definitely not for Bottas anyway. Ended up finishing fourth. Perez even got past him in the end. But yeah, tactically, strategically, Red Bull did a great job today, and you can't fault them for that. But I really thought Hamilton was going to hold on. My grandma's been watching it with me. She calls him Louis Hamilton. She loves him, and she really thought he was going to hold on. And she was in, yeah.
Well, to be fair, there was nothing in it. Once Verstappen got past, yeah, fair enough, he was gone. But really, if he'd have got held up a little bit more on his outlap, or if Hamilton hadn't have made the mistake that he made a couple of laps previously, he probably would have been able to hold on. The one stop versus this two stop was really tight today.
Yeah, because I think as well, Mercedes, that pit crew were preparing for someone to come in, but I think it was for Bottas originally, but there was suspicion of it being Hamilton. And yeah, it was tight, but I knew when Red Bull sort of pitted the second time that it was always going to be. I couldn't see Hamilton hanging on personally, even though I wanted him to, as you can probably tell by what I'm wearing.
If anyone was going to be able to hang on, it was going to be Hamilton. Bottas maybe could have provided a little bit more support for him. He kind of waved Verstappen through. You
guys know our opinions on that. I saw the comment section, and some not so nice on my opinions, but.
And then the second Red Bull, Perez had a good race. He looked like he was dropping away at the start, but the second stint he really pulled it back.
Yeah, for definite. It was a solid race from Perez, and I think as much as I really like Alex Albon and I really like Gasly before him, he's definitely the most accomplished overall driver in Red Bull's second seat. And I think his contract expires at the end of this year, subject to how he does. But I can't see them really passing up on another year of him after this.
Yeah, I can't see them not extending that contract. Tsunoda's clearly not ready. He had another Q1 crash.
Yeah, it was 3 minutes into Q1.
Yeah, he's brought out the red flag once again. He just needs a bit more time to sort of calm down and get his driving under control, and then maybe they'll take a chance on him. But for now, I can't see them going anywhere other than Perez.
Yeah, because especially with Tsunoda, he has good pace. He's a good driver, but as we were talking about just before we started recording, he can be a bit overeager and a bit too aggressive, and I think that cost him sometimes, and it definitely did. It was in P1, not Q1.
But that's what you get your rookie year for. No one's going to judge you on your rookie year, because you get to make those mistakes, and hopefully he just learns from them.
Yeah, I think he will, but it takes most normal drivers a couple of years at least to get better sort of all round, and I think he will. I think he'll be a top class driver in a few years, but not just yet.
Exactly. And then moving down the field a little bit, the Ferrari versus McLaren fight is amazing to see. It's where it's not been for a long, long time, where we've wanted it to be, but they were really scrapping today.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, I think, did Ricciardo win driver of the day? He was definitely in the top three.
Yeah, his name came up, but I never really pay attention to driver of the day, to be honest with you, because it's just a popularity contest, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, because for me, driver of the day was Hamilton, but that's for another video. But yeah, no, it was an interesting fight. I think Ricciardo's finally sort of getting used to that McLaren seat now. You can tell he's getting that. His race pace looked good. He looked comfortable today, and yeah, it was a good result for McLaren overall.
Even though on McLaren, like the commentators, I really thought they'd thrown Lando away in the race. When they pitted him so late, I was like, wow. So
I did, yeah.
He's out, and he did amazing to just fly back through the field.
Yeah, because when he pitted, I think most people thought he should have pitted earlier. So I was a bit confused with what the strategy was, but he came out, 14th, didn't he? 13th, 14th at that point. I know it was just behind Alonso. And yeah, from there, it was just solid as ever from Lando. He's been outstanding all season. And he can only get better with age, so he's got a lot of years left in him. It was a really good race for him today again.
And as we were talking about driver of the day, I think I'd give it to Lando. The most audacious overtakes, the most entertainment probably came from him outside of the top two. fighting away from each other.
Yeah, if we're talking outside of top two, then either him or Danny Ricciardo. But if we're counting everyone, for me it has to be Lewis. On those tyres, that old, he managed to hang on for that long for first place. I thought he was going to nick it, but obviously not. I think if he had nicked it, then I would have said him for definite driver of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a bit surprised to not even see his name come up in the top three. But again, I think a lot of people don't vote for him because they think there's people that more overtakes and so on. But I don't think that's necessarily the way to judge it for me.
Yeah, he's never really going to win driver of the day unless he does something ridiculous. But I'm sure his 7 world championships will comfort him when he's not got driver of the day.
He's crying into his 7 world driver championships.
Exactly. And then the Ferraris, another strong race from them. They seem to be resurgent. It started off better than it ended. They kind of fell back through the field, and I think Leclerc finished way off after his second stop. But for a while they were running really well. I think it was Ferrari, McLaren. It's going to go down to the wire for P3 in the championship, and it looks like it's going to go down to the wire for P1 too. Even if Red Bull do steal constructors.
Yeah, for definite. And yeah, it's good seeing Ferrari back up there this year. I know there's some people that I know that don't like Ferrari because of their arrogance, but they have a right to be. And that's off topic anyway. But yeah, it's really nice seeing them back up there fighting again. They did, as you said, start to slide away today, but they'll get back there, I think.
Yeah, and with the next 2 tracks being an Austria doubleheader, you can follow. Slipstream is massive around there. It looks like we're going to get a couple of good races. If the weather finally turns up on race day, and we get a repeat of Turkey last year, that would be great. That's what I was hoping we'd get today, but we got an exciting race nonetheless. And then Gasly, who just flew under the radar. I missed his quali performance completely with Max taking pole. P6 in quali, and then a great race after that. He's really outshining that car, and he needs to move, doesn't he? He needs to get into a different car.
Yeah, but where to next though?
I can only see
That's
Alpine.
the question.
I can only see Alpine happening, to be honest. I don't know where else he could end up.
Yeah, but I can't see an Alpine in the next few years making a car that'll outperform AlphaTauri, personally.
Yeah, probably not with Renault Alpine's track record.
Yeah.
Maybe like a move to a different category, Formula E. If maybe McLaren or someone wants to set up in Formula E now that they can. With them going into Extreme E as well, they seem to just be looking for categories to join every year. I can see that happening, but would you want to pride? There's still a pride thing between FE and F1. Formula E should know something about that.
Yeah, there is for definite, and I just think he's too good of a driver to move series. Like, if he moved to Formula E, I think he'd be wasted, because for now anyway, Formula One's the premier racing competition, and he can't. If he leaves that, he's sort of going to go under the radar again, like Van Dorn in FE.
Yeah, and Van Dorn was a great driver. Alonso ruined him, but he was a great driver, and he's proving that now. But he's never going to get a shot to come back into F1, I don't think. Because
outside of people that watch Formula E, and if you talk to people in real life, if you have friends unlike me, then you'll know that there's not many people that religiously tune into it every week. So if any driver moves there, they're not going to get the same recognition or status as they would in Formula One. So
of course not, and they're not viewed as favourably by F1 teams either. Van Dorn was Mercedes' reserve driver. They still went for Russell. Despite his good performances, he's still not going to get the chance.
And Gasly is definitely he's never making that Red Bull move again, because Helmut Marko has got like a voodoo doll of him at home. He sticks pins in it every night. And
Gasly's face
and Max Verstappen everywhere.
Yeah, Gasly's face is the bullseye on Marco's dartboard, isn't
he? Yeah. And he's got his Max Verstappen shrine next to his bed.
That's my clothes getting delivered. Thank you. This channel is just turning into who comes into Akshar's room. It's okay, I'm recording. Nah, go on. This channel is just turning into who walks into Akshar's room while he's recording. But once a week we can deal with that. I'm not going to bother cutting it out. Where were we? What are we talking about? The race. Yeah. a good race. How would you rate it?
That's the theme of the video today.
Yeah, that's going to be the title. Meet my granddad.
The race though, what would I rate it out of 10? I'll give it an 8 out of 10 today. There was more excitement today than what I expected, because I saw a lot of people at the start of the week sort of sleeping on French GP again. Because
a lot of people like our Twitter account as well, yeah? As included.
Most of us. But yeah, there was I think when a race comes in with low expectation and then provides excitement, I think that's just the best sort of race, and that's why for me I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
And it's something that F1 fans have always struggled with, right? Expectations. We always set them so high. Same as the 2020 season, we were just happy to go back racing, and what a season we had.
Yeah.
And then the expectations off of that season coming into this season, if you took the 2021 season so far and put it back in 2016 or 17, we'd be loving it.
Yeah. Even
if there is a French Grand Prix or two thrown in there, these less exciting races with, not half of the field crashing out, these are the drivers' races. These are the, core fans' races that we want to see the strategy. It's not boring. It's just interesting in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think for a lot of people, obviously, if you're sort of more of a, I don't want to sound snobby and sound like you're a casual fan, but I think for a lot of people, excitement comes, and I don't mean F1 fans, by the way, so don't attack, but a lot of people find excitement in crashes and stuff like that. But today, the strategy and driving is what made it. And as you just said, that's the best sort of race.
Well, we've got an Austria doubleheader coming up. I know I just had low expectations, but I have very high expectations for these two races. Austria is never disappointed, and Mercedes are really on the back foot, aren't they?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Mercedes respond to this, because I believe, if I heard it right, this is the first time in the hybrid era Red Bull's had a hat-trick of wins. So, so it'll be interesting to see how Mercedes responds to that.
And I feel like they've got every chance of making that hat-trick 4, maybe even 5 in a row at their home race.
Yeah. They have the better car. Their strategy this season in most races has been just a bit better than Mercedes. So, yeah, I agree, personally. I agree.
So you're saying, rather than predictions, who do you think is going to be on top of the drivers at the end of the triple header?
Max.
By a long way?
Not by a long way. I think we'll see 2 Hamilton, Verstappen 1, Hamilton 2s.
Okay. Still by a long way then, because that's quite a few points they'll be picking up. What is he, 26 points ahead so far?
I believe so.
Something along those lines. And we're not counting Bottas into the championship fight, obviously. But yeah, that's our race review. I hope you enjoyed the race review as much as we enjoyed the race. Probably not. But yeah, socials, Ishan?
Yeah, so if you want to find us on Twitter, we're at LTF1 Official, and Instagram at LTF1 Official. Thank you for watching, and we'll have more content for you in the week.
And if you have watched this far, then just comment something to do with Raj. It will confuse him and it will gas him up for the next week. That's all from us. See you next week.
We know none of you watch this far anyway, so we'll see you next week.
See you.